the first time since 1969, the Sports Car Club of America's National Championship Runoffs returned to one of their historic homes, Daytona. Welcome to the 52nd SCCA Runoffs presented by Garmin Verb at Daytona International Speedway, brought to you by Mazda. The run for the medals begins now.
We're at Daytona International Speedway here in Central Florida. Great to have you with us for our coverage today of the SCCA's National Championship Runoffs 2015, presented by Garmin Verb. I'm Rick Benjamin. Dorsey Schrader is alongside. Hayward Wagner will have our coverage on pit road. We'll begin our coverage this weekend. Of course, we're with you all weekend long through Sunday's events, but we'll start it off with GT2 action. Should be a great one. 27 cars and drivers have qualified for this event, and we should see some great action up front and all through the field. Jordan Bupp from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, will start on the pole in his Ford Mustang. And John Cashadurian will line up alongside. He's from Denver, Colorado, in his Fall Line Racing Porsche 911. So we'll see a lot of different brands in action. Should be a great fight for honors here today in GT2. Plenty of stories to cover on pit road and in the paddock. We kick it off with our friend Hayward Wagner, who has got our coverage today.
First year at Mid-Ohio. This is the first year where virtually all of the races are singles. We only have one double-up race, and that was only brought about because of a relatively low entry in the Touring 3 class. So Touring 2 and Touring 3.
And we'll get to Hayward in just a moment as we take a look at the beautiful skyline heading off toward the beach here in Daytona. Of course, we're about 50 miles or so to the east of Orlando on America's east coast. And Dorsey, we were talking about the weather here in Central Florida. Typically, even at this time of the year, as we've just transitioned into fall, late afternoon can bring a thunder shower. We had a little bit of rain here yesterday. But that haze tells me it's going to be a warm day here at Daytona.
It is a very humid day. I felt it as I came out of the motor coach this morning. I went, ooh, boy, these guys are doing a little sweating today. It's a lot of humidity in the air. It's going to be near 90 degrees, so that's plenty of heat. It's going to be fun for racing. These races, like you say, are 40 minutes long, thereabouts, and you can run them at 100% the whole way. Yeah,
and the safety cars are out on course, taking a last-minute look at things around this 3+ mile road course. And we've got, courtesy of our friends at Garmin Verb, who are presenting our coverage of these SCCA National Championship runoffs, a lap of the course here today. In GT2, we'll take a ride here with Jonathan Start out of Caledonia, Michigan, in the Kalin Construction Carbotech Dodge Viper. And you take a look here, this in-car camera, Dorsey, down into turn 1.
And you see right here where all the skid marks are, where the car gets very light. It's hard to read the braking right there because you're coming off the banking down to the flat. This is all flat out through this section. The corner in front of you here, the very most slippery corner in Daytona. It's the slowest corner, the International Horseshoe they call it. It's very, very easy to lose control of the car right there. You would think as it's slow, it wouldn't be that big a problem, but you have no downforce whatsoever when you get to that corner. Now this is the fastest infield section, this kink, and it takes the whole entire lap to get brave enough to do that nearly flat out. Hard braking here for the first of the two 90 right. Actually, this 90 right leads under a short straight. You see your little wiggle right there. As like I said, this infield is very, very slippery. Really important corner here, the left-hander leading back up onto the banking. It's slippery. If you put the power on too early, you're going to get loose there, but you want to carry as much speed as you can, because once you get to here and you're up on the banking, it's just flat out as fast as your car can go. You know, you're headed down this back straightaway once we get to this NASCAR turn 2, and we're going to be heading toward the bus stop chicane, if you will. And that is really, really hard braking. One of the best places for overtaking, no doubt about that. We will also see probably our fair share of accidents happen throughout the weekend right here as you go from top gear down to third. Quick left, right, straighten the car, right, left, and back up the banking again. And you start your run now for the start-finish line up onto the banking, flat out as fast as your car will go anywhere.
Coming off the bus stop, and we just saw a glimpse of it here, a good opportunity to pass as well. If you get through the bus stop well, if your exit speed is good, you can make a move here.
Absolutely. I mean, the drafting will come into play right there. You'll carry that speed all the way down here. You got start-finish coming up and a checkered flag right about now.
Through the tri-oval and headed back toward turn 1, and that was a lap of the course from our friends at Garmin Verb, and Jonathan Start doing the honors in that. V10 Dodge Viper, we've got a group of those cars. They'll start 5th. Start himself will line up 5th. Tim Myers 6th, and Randall Kinstad will start 7th. All 3 Dodge Vipers. All right, Hayward Wagner on pit road for us all weekend long with lots to talk about in GT2.
Guys, it's been a long week of anticipation. Qualifying finally behind us. Weather has been a challenge all week. It's been hot, it's been cold, it's been wet. Today, beautiful blue skies, warm temperatures. We're going to see a great GT2 battle today in the SCCA Runoffs presented by Garmin Verb.
Exactly so. I think, Dorsey, we're looking forward to seeing how these Vipers, the Porsches, and then that one Mustang, a pole sitter Jordan Bubb, will get around this 3+ mile layout here at Daytona International Speedway.
Kind of wondering about all the drivers and who made deals with anybody else, for drafting partners. It will make a very, very big difference here. And I see that we have 3 Vipers. If those guys are smart, they'll work together because that's probably got a bigger frontal area than that Mustang does. It would need a little help as far as top-end speed goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we're looking forward to seeing how this plays out. In a 50-mile race like this, you'll run 17 laps, give or take 16 laps around here, basically, over 40 minutes. And these are time-limited races, of course, for national championship honors in GT2. We talked about, you and I have done this together many times over the years, and qualifying speeds don't necessarily tell you a lot about how a race will play out. I think here, since this track is one that some of these drivers have never run on before other than to practice and qualify, I think this is a wild card event. I think we may see some surprises.
No, I agree totally. I mean, you can catch a break in your qualifying run, get a good pull from somebody, a draft, and pick up your time a half a second. It doesn't mean you can run that every single lap. It just means you got the lucky break at that given point in time. But when we go to the racing, it's all going to come stacked back together again.
A lot of spotters, a lot of friends and family here, as always, as the cars come off the pre-grid and get set to go to kick off these 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Back downstairs to Hayward.
Guys, GT2 is an evolving class. Once a land of all tube frame RX-7s, Porsches, Datsun, Nissan products. Now some of the tub cars have come in from professional racing series. You've got the Viper, you've got the Corvette. This class has been an Andrew Wacalante show for the last couple of years in a Corvette. That's affected the performance of these cars and given the Vipers and the Porsches a little bit more speed in comparison to the Corvette. So what we're going to see today are some cars with DOT tires, the BFG, some cars on race tires, the Hoosier. As we go through this race, look for a lot of changes in performances as these different chassis and tires sort themselves out.
Absolutely the case. The Hoosier, a bias ply. That's what the Trans Am 2 cars run on. The BF Goodrich radials on some of these other cars, Doris, and that's a big factor.
That is a huge factor. That's a very good point, right, that Hayward just brought up about the degradation of these tires and the different types of chassis as we go through the 14 lap or 15 laps of race, 14 lap race. Some of the cars are going to be really strong at the beginning and they'll taper off some. Some of the cars will go the other way and be a little pushy or understeering early on, and they're going to come back to being more neutral further in the race.
All right, your starting lineup looks like this. Jordan Bubb from Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the 81 car, the American Speed Factory Mustang, alongside John Cashadurian, the favorite according to Sports Car Magazine from Denver. That is in the fall line Porsche 911 Carrera. Second row, Mark Bowden from Winnetka, Illinois, the fall line Porsche 997 GT3 Cup car. That's the 47 car. Robert Kennedy starts fourth in the 118. He's local from Ormond Beach, Florida. The Daytona 1 Performance Lubricants Ford Mustang. Third row, Scotty B. White in the 0. He is out of Washington, Auburn, Washington. The Knight Transport LLC Dodge Viper, car number 0. Jonathan Start, who we rode with a moment ago in the 51, lines up 6th. He's out of Michigan. The Kalen Construction Dodge Viper. Seventh starter is Tim Myers from Atlanta, Georgia. The 22 car, that's the BFG Carbotech Dodge Viper. And going 8th, outside row 4, Randall Kirkland from Whittier, North Carolina. In the 41, that's the Crossroad Motorsports Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Back to the 5th row, Tim Kesman. He is from Franklinville, Wisconsin. That's the Calypso Lemonade Porsche 911 GT3 car. That's one of the Fall Line Motorsports entries. That's car number 4. Michael Flynn from Eustis, Florida, starts 10th in the 155. That's the Irish Mike's Racing Porsche GT3 Cup machine. Starting 11th is Brian Collier. He's from Port Orange, Florida, and the CFR entry. That's he's a Central Florida region competitor. The Crunch Construction Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. Starting 12th, Preston Calvert, a guy you know, Dorsey, from World Challenge Competition. That's one of the Phoenix Performance Aqualati cars. That's the Chevrolet Corvette.
Yeah, Hayward brought up a really good point earlier on about this class, and what used to be all home-built, more or less, tube frames race cars has become now factory race cars. You can actually buy a race car from Porsche. You can buy one from Viper. You can buy Ford. You know, complete turnkey racing machine built by the factory themselves. So it has changed. There's a little of both mixed in here. I saw an older Mazda back in the pack, the black and yellow car they're swerving around. That's one of the old style. And I should say our pole sitter too, Jordan Bupp. That car built right there in Florida, right here in Florida.
Yeah.
By him and his people.
Yeah, absolutely. Pete Peterson, veteran of this branch of racing, of course, SCCA National Championship competition out of North Carolina in his Valvoline Porsche 997, the 198. Mark Kirby from Leawood, Kansas in the 21. That's the Hoosier Tire Dodge Viper. Back to the 8th row, Jerry Onks from Tennessee in the 96. That is a Corvette Z06. Jorge Nazario from San Juan, Puerto Rico in the 165. That's a Corvette Z06. Michael Smell from Port St. Lucie, Florida in the 8 car. Brad Gross from Grapevine, Texas. John Yarish from Pennsylvania will line up back in the 19th position. Butch Cummer from Georgia in the Chevrolet Monte Carlo, the 57. Richard Smith from Loxahatchee, Florida in the Fast Lane Racing RX-7. He is out of Miami. That's the 43. Starting 27nd, Tim Gray from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, the Ryan Company's Camaro. That he is a Trans Am competitor. That is a Trans Am 2 car built to that spec. Starting 23rd, Robert Kelly from Huntington Beach, California in the 66, the Up Racing Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Daniel Harding from Dover, Ohio starts 24th in the 84. That's the Harding's Park Cycle Porsche GT3 Cup car. Daniel Malfatti from Hayward, California lines up 25th in the Malfatti Motorsports Chevrolet Monte Carlo, the 55. Sidney Collins from Apopka, Florida in the Choiceport 911. And shotgun on the field, John Maddox from Jacksonville, Florida in the 73. That's also a Choiceport Porsche 911. 2 pace laps in GT2 to get the tires warmed up.
That's a very good point too. Not all classes will have 2 pace laps, but some of these classes, and this one in particular that has different types and constructions of tires, need to get those temperatures and the pressures built up before they hit that banking. The artificial load that Daytona creates on the banking without the air pressure can be catastrophic to a tire.
There's Jordan Bupp in that orange Ford Mustang, your pole sitter. That's a TA2 spec car, the American Speed Factory Mustang. Jordan runs that car in Trans Am competition. His dad Kenny, a longtime Trans Am competitor, and then you've got Kashadurian in the Porsche alongside Kashadurian, the pick of Sports Car Magazine to win gold medal honors here.
Yeah, that's a really big feather in the hat to have too. When Sports Car Magazine picks you out, they look at your performance through the year, how you've done at the majors, the races that you've run during the year, and your performance. So to be picked to be the guy to beat says a lot. Now, it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's going to win. He's going to have to get by Mr. Bupp there, and I don't think that's going to be real easy to do.
Exactly. Safety car about to pull in. Marshall's in that pace car with the hand out the window indicating the drivers this should be it. Should go green here next time around. And get ready to go racing in our opening event of the 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
You look at the cars, how slow they look. They're running faster than the speed limit on the highway right there. You know, running around about 75 mile per hour on the banking. Anything short of that, you can't stay up there. That's how severe it is.
Yep, exactly. I remember taking a streetcar up on the banking here years and years ago. My first trip here to work was 1981, doing an NASCAR event, and thinking, man, you know, you can't do this at 50 miles an hour.
No, you can't. The car won't stay up there. It's much more of a bank than it looks like on TV. If you were to try to walk up there, by the time you got halfway up, you'd be on your hands and knees.
All right, so we will keep an eye on lots of different things for you. The all-time track record at GT2 here in a race lap, a 154.1 set in August of this year. Bob Faeda holding that track record. We'll see if that record falls during competition. So Kenny Bupp on the pole, Kenny Bupp's son Jordan on the pole, John Kashadurian alongside in that Porsche. Second row, Mark Bowden on the inside of the 47. Robert Kennedy alongside in the 118 car. They will be your first 4 starters. Scotty B. White lines up in 5th in the 0. Jonathan Start in the 51. That's the White Viper there in 6th position. We are so glad to have you with us to begin our coverage. GT2 kicking things off of these 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Coverage for you all weekend long. Great field of race cars. And we're about set to kick things off. Doris, it's been a long time coming. We've watched these cars work all week here, and now all that hard work's about to pay off.
A lot of excitement down there right now. Everybody wants to watch these race cars get it after it. This is the start of the whole weekend. It's going to be really fantastic.
Safety car heads for pit road, about set to begin our GT2 action. Jordan Bupp leads him to the green, and we are underway with the SCCA's National Championships in 2015. Jordan Bupp down into turn 1, your early leader.
Everybody behaving pretty well down through there. Glad to see that. Got to feel this racetrack out. They haven't been out there this morning. No warm-up.
Gashadurian settling into second spot. That Ford Mustang moving into third position. That's Robert Kennedy's 118 car. Here comes one of the Vipers on the inside. That's Scotty B. White in the 0 trying to pick up a couple of spots early on. Goes off over the curbing there.
Yeah, you can really track across that curb and get some power down. It's that really slippery corner I was talking about. And there's the fast one, the kink.
Short straightaway, working the infield road course. Lap number 1. Jordan Bupp, your leader. Gashadurian in second. That's the blue and white Porsche.
Jordan's car looks really good coming off the corner. There's no body motion whatsoever.
This is a home game for Jordan Bupp. Of course, he races out of Fort Lauderdale, one of the Florida region competitors here in these runoffs. Off the road course, heading onto the super stretch here at Daytona, onto the banking of turns 1 and 2.
And here you really let the legs stretch on these things. You get the car running right in the middle. You see it run right down through the middle of the banking.
Jonathan Stark there. He gave us our Garmin Verb onboard lap earlier. Battling with that Mustang right behind him. That's Robert Kennedy out of Florida, one of the Central Florida region competitors. The Daytona 1 Performance Ford Mustang. He is 4th.
Scotty B. White back there trying to take a look, see if he can get position for the bus stop. Didn't make the pass that lap. Wasn't really happy with his car yesterday. You know, he just hadn't found the speed that he was looking for. They were going to keep trying. They don't give up.
No, you can't give up. No question about that. Now, here's a situation. A couple of the Porsches perhaps hooking up in the draft, Dorsey. A lot of people think drafting, you've got to be right up on the rear bumper of the car in front of you. Not necessarily here at Daytona.
No, if you can see the car down the straightaway, it's helping you to some degree because they really stir the air up as they go around here, you know, at 180 mile an hour or whatever these cars are pushing through there.
Battling here for second spot, Gashadurian in the blue and white 85. That's the Porsche. Jonathan Stark off to a good start in that Viper, the 51 on attack up to third.
That's our big mover so far. He's found a way to get by a couple.
Jordan Bupp continuing to lead Robert Kennedy in that baby blue Mustang, kind of petty blue, back there in 4th position.
It is petty blue, and it sure is.
Mark Bowden, Tim Kesman, and Scotty B. White next in line, 5th, 6th, and 7th. But this is the battle for second now.
Good battle. 51 got really kind of loose there under braking.
Now Jordan Bupp in that Mustang, that he is on the Hoosier bias ply tires. Gashadurian would be on the Radius.
Yeah, he is. You're right. And look at Jordan Bupp's car. It's starting to. I saw that earlier. That's gas overflow. I'm pretty sure that he's spilling out of the back of that car from a. I'm hoping it's gas. If it's not gas, then there could be a problem. But I don't see smoke.
In a 50-mile race, these cars normally run 100 miles. The Trans Am cars do. So I wouldn't think you'd have to overfill it.
No, that's why I am surprised to see that's the second lap I've seen it spilling out the back end there off the overflow.
Heading to the bus stop, the chicane down the super stretch, partway down the backstretch here at Daytona International Speedway. Bupp is still your leader. Last time by, a little less than a second here over Gashadurian. 3rd spot, the Viper there, Jonathan Stark in the white 51 car. As we watch Jordan Bupp continuing to lead this field, working lap number 2.
You could see with Jonathan on the braking how squirrely the car got, that he's really pushing the limits on that Viper, and he's got a good run on the Porsche right now. See if he can get him down here in turn 1.
Coming through the tri-oval, Jonathan Stark gunning for second spot outside Gashadurian.
Nice draft. Not going to quite get it this lap.
Gashadurian able to hang on to the spot here in turn 1. And one of the keys to that entry to the infield road course, it's very wide. You got a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, and that's where it gets you in trouble sometimes, because it is so wide that you can take a bunch of different entries into that corner, and then you hit that flat part where all your grip goes away, and it's you better be on the right line.
Gashadurian of the Porsche up alongside early leader Jordan Bupp. Lead is in play here.
Yeah, Gashadurian with that pressure from behind, I think he figures I got to get out of here. That Viper's all over me. Look, and he is.
Good battle for the top 3 spots. GT2 opening up our coverage of the SCCA National Championship runoffs. Jordan Bupp way wide coming off that corner.
And here comes the Porsche now. Not going to make it there. This is getting interesting now because the 3 cars putting a lot of pressure on each other. And there's that spillage again. Look at Bupp's car just really dumping. I think that's fuel, and that could be a problem further down the road.
Jordan Bupp continues to lead in the Mustang. The Porsche of Cachadurian in second. Start is third in the Viper. All over each other in the road course, and now back up on the banking. The Mustang seems to have a little advantage.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It looks like the Mustang's got legs, at least coming out and onto the banking. Now they've separated themselves from one another.
Just a little bit. Jordan Bupp's lead down significantly. It was just about 9/10 of a second on lap number 1 as we begin lap number 3 here.
The Viper's fallen back now somewhat. I don't know if John Cachadurian in the Porsche was holding back and now he's decided to go. We'll see.
And this could be a situation, you know, you've got 14 laps to work with, 40 minutes of racing here. This may be a case of just saying, okay, I know I've got enough to get there. I'm going to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you got to mind your tires. There's no question about that. And these guys know that better than anyone else, how hard they can push for how long. You know, you're going to have something left at the end of this race. If you run it all the way early, then you're a sitting duck for guys that have saved.
Top 3 continue to be Bupp in the 81, Cachadurian there in the blue Porsche, the 85, and Start in the white Viper, the 51. They've opened up a significant gap over Robert Kennedy. Here's a challenge for the lead again. Cachadurian getting off that corner beautifully up alongside the Mustang above.
I was surprised. Bupp was way out wide there, and Cachadurian didn't take advantage of using all that radius. He held the Porsche to the inside, but still got a good run off the corner.
Jordan Bupp continuing to run at the front of the field here in GT2 early in the going today at Daytona International Speedway. But John Cachadurian putting lots of pressure on him for the lead now.
Well, we know where the strong points of the two cars are now. Watch the Mustang as it's going to be on the good part of the racetrack for it. The banking, it's going to start to pull away, and there he goes. You look at the Porsche from behind, and it gets an advantage from turn 1 all the way back to the bus stop. So the two drivers right now feeling each other out, and they both realize where their strong point and weak points are. For the Porsche, he needs to get closer to the back end of that Mustang so he can get helped a little bit more by that draft. It'll take some of his weak area away.
Absolutely the case.
Somebody's been off down there in the bus stop and scattered dirt all over. That place turns into a skating rink by the time the race is over if guys keep going through there.
Well, and you do see that a lot of times. I mean, I think sometimes drivers get confused, especially if they haven't been here much. You're going down into that left-hander, you're on the gas so hard on the straightaway coming off the banking. You've got to down change a couple of times and really use your brakes.
It's really easy to make a mistake in that area, and if you drop your wheels off and bring all that dirt up there, then the next guy through, if he didn't see it happen, he gets surprised by there's no grip all of a sudden.
Robert Kennedy here in the Mustang, the baby blue, kind of petty blue Mustang with the pink center stripe. He's got his hands full with one of the fall line cars. That's the 47 of Mark Bowden, who's running 5th. These two have kind of held station 4th and 5th since the drop of the green.
Mark Bowden has been running that same configuration car for quite a while. He, I'm sure, knows how far he can push it and how early he needs to be conservative on the rear tires on the Porsche. They tend, with the engine at the back, to really put the rear tire through a lot more wear and tear.
10 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Working the infield road course section of this legendary facility. Battling here for 4th spot. The 47 car of Bowden putting lots of heat now on Kennedy for 4th.
Kennedy left a big door open there. I was kind of surprised, and Mark saw it and tried to get the Porsche to fit in there.
Battling time up on the high banks, as we go back to this battle for 4th and 5th. Kennedy in the blue Mustang. Mark Bowden there in the black fall line prepared Porsche.
Now the Mustangs, you see this one as well, pull away from the Porsche up on the banking. So the top end, or at least the acceleration off the corner, goes to the Mustang. Of course, the Porsche, it's going to be really good in the brake zones. And here's my case in point. Oh, somebody going straight off there and across through the field. One of the Vipers, I don't know.
Wow. Now you have to stop and give that position back. Is that our 3rd place runner? It is. That's the 51 of Jonathan Start, who got in trouble. He has to give up a lot of ground. He's got a problem, evidently, having trouble getting back up to speed here. So this is going to shuffle the deck quite a bit. Start, who was running 3rd, put a lot of pressure on our 2nd place driver, John Cachadurian.
Kind of looked like that was just a mistake by himself. Probably got into that bus stop too deep and couldn't make the second part of the corner.
There it is again. One more look at it.
Yeah, he just was completely off the track in the first part.
He didn't miss the chicane, but he missed the exit.
Yeah, man, I don't know if they're going to give him any kind of a penalty for that or not, because he did make it. He did make it. You know, he didn't gain anything by doing what he did, and he lost positions, obviously, to the two guys in front of him.
So Jonathan Start gives up a ton of ground, and that sets up a two-car battle at the front of the field. It's still Jordan Bupp here in the Mustang, the orange Mustang, the 81 car. He's got about a 3-car length advantage over the second-place runner, John Cashadurian, in the 85.
And for John Cashadurian, with the Porsche, he has to keep Bupp really constantly running hard in these corners, try to wear the tire down or get it hot where the Mustang will start losing grip. If it loses grip, it won't be able to launch onto the straightaway so hard. He won't lose so much ground to him, which it doesn't look like he's losing as much as he had before.
Top 2 cars up on the high banks here at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, Mustang's got legs for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Bupp very impressive here. He was under attack earlier, but he's managed to keep his head in the game, turn those attacks away, and now stretch the lead back out.
Yeah, you know, if I'm sitting here thinking, which car would I rather have right now? The one that's fast on the straightaway or the one that's good through the corner? Well, the checkered flag is on the straightaway.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the Mustang.
Yeah.
I'll take the Mustang.
I think here you want straight line speed.
Oh, and a car off down the bottom of the racetrack back there. I didn't see who it was. It was smoking. I think if he can't get that going, we might end up getting a caution here.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that a place like that's the 51 of
there's
Jonathan
the problem
starting.
You were talking about. The car has got a problem. You see at the bottom.
The Kaylin Viper, yeah. That looks like engine smoke out the right side. Of course, a Viper's a V10, so you've got headers on both sides of the car there.
Yeah, I think that does have a mechanical issue. I don't know if that was the car I saw before or not. I just got a glimpse of it. But he's going to make it back to pit lane down there on the apron.
Now we should tell you, if you're watching at home today, maybe you're watching at work or watching on your mobile device, timing and scoring a little bit of an issue here in the early going. We're going to try to do our best to keep you updated on where your favorite drivers may be as we watch Jonathan Start head for pit road. Hayward Wagner will get down there, find out what happened to Start's machine, but you can see some smoke out of the breather there.
Yeah, he's got a radiator full of grass now, and it's overheating.
That's never a good thing.
No.
Not these cars. No question about it. All right, Bupp under attack once again. The 57 on pit road as well.
Also grass in the radiator. That's from down there in the bus stop. We saw all that. Look at all the fluid. That's going to be one slippery racetrack right now.
Yeah, there is Start in that 51 car. Crew trying to clean off the wow. Yeah, you are exactly right, Doris. With a low splitter on a car like that, you go down through the grass here, you're definitely going to pick up a lot of trash.
You're a high-dollar lawnmower is all you are right
there. So Jonathan Start, who looked to have an opportunity here, certainly to get on the podium, perhaps to win this GT2 event that opens the 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Garmin Verb. His bid will come a cropper here today on the backside of the racetrack. As we watch the battle for the lead, it's still Bupp and Cashadurian 1-2. Hayward Wagner, what's going on pit road?
Guys, we just had a couple of cars come in. One of them was the 51 car. I'm going to get a camera to look over here. You can see the trail that came in behind this car. So definitely some fluid down on the track. The 57 car also came in for grass cleaning. And then if you can see on the front straightaway, it looks like parts maybe from the Scotty White car, but it looks like we lost a tire and have some debris on the front straightaway. We'll keep an eye on what's going on here and let you know what we learn.
All right, thank you, Hayward. Thank you, Hayward. Dorsey Schrader, one of the things you'll find at a high-speed racetrack like Daytona, if your car is not prepared perfectly, you'll have a problem.
I tell all the guys that have never been here before that, you know, a vibration at most racetracks is a vibration. At Daytona, if it's vibration, you better stop that lap. Because whatever it is, you're under such load here, it gets really bad really fast.
Watching this battle for the lead. Still Bupp in the Mustang holding on. John Cashadurian and the Porsche giving chase and really putting a lot of heat on. This is clearly where the Porsche excels.
Oh, yeah, he got a real good run off that corner, but there's nowhere to go with that speed. You can't make a side-by-side pass in that area anyway.
Jordan Bupp's strength has been to get up on these high banks and then pull away from Cashadurian. And as you said, Dorsey Schrader, that's where you want the speed here because the checkered flag, the finish line is at the trial.
Yeah, and the Porsches, you know, if it was on the infield somewhere, the Porsche would be the right car to have. But with that checkered flag being at the end of that long, long pull through NASCAR 3-4 and down into the trial, well, the Mustang's real strong right there. And you see he just drives away.
Into
Now,
the bus
this could
stop. Now,
hurt him.
slower traffic may be a problem.
Yeah, where Bupp gets, if he gets held up in this area where he's weak anyway to where the Porsche is, and that Porsche can slide by, that's what Khachaturian's looking for, an opportunity just like that.
Khachaturian getting a little bit of a toe here into the banking now at Daytona. Even in this situation in the runoffs, you would have spotters at a couple of places around this racetrack.
If you were smart, you'd have spotters here for sure that can help you out with that sort of thing. And, you know, if he can just close half that distance, he's going to be in really good shape to make a pass on the infield.
All right, let's get an update from pit road. Back downstairs to Hayward.
Guys, I'm with Rob May, crew chief for Fall Line Motorsports. Rob, your guy in second spot seems to have the speed in the infield. Is there anything you can do on the oval?
Yeah, you know, it's tough for these Porsche Cup cars because we're rev limited based on the rev limit that Porsche sets, and we're not allowed to change it, unfortunately. So we got to try to make up as much as we can in the infield and hope for the best on the banking.
Two very different cars at the front of the field, a tube car and a tub car. The tub car on a DOT-style tire. Does that give you an advantage as we go through that race? Will that tire come in and stay stronger at the end and give you a chance?
Well, from what we've seen so far, that we set our car up for the long run, so we're hoping that the car kind of comes back to us, you know, based on the Pirelli slicks that we're running. Got to tell you, these Fall Line guys have been working tirelessly on these cars to make them best they can be for the race, so we really thank all of them.
All right, well, good luck to you and your team.
All right, 8 laps complete, working lap number 9 of 14 here. As we watch this battle continuing, it looks like Khachaturian has pulled away from Jordan Bupp. Jordan Bupp may well have had a problem in the infield section of the road course.
Something's happened while we were away there. There's only one car at the front right now.
Looks like Jordan Bupp and the Mustang may have had a problem on the course. We'll try to get confirmation of that as we watch Khachaturian head toward the bus stop. There's Jordan Bupp. He pulled away. All right, so it's not a case of Bupp having problems. Khachaturian had lost the toe, evidently, through the triangle. So Jordan Bupp looking good. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with plenty more coverage of the 2015 SCCA National Championship runoffs from Daytona International Speedway.
The 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Garmin Verb, is being brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, driving matters.
16 wide eyes. Driver's license, took 2 tries, bought a Roadster secondhand. Playing parties with the band, loaded up, off to state. Hijinks, tailgates, starter, midsize. Family cruising. Now in the garage, something new reminds you of when you were you.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Alongside Dorsey Schrader, I'm Rick Benjamin. Hayward Wagner with our pit road coverage all weekend long. Opening race of the 2015 SCCA National Championship runoffs presented by Garmin Verb. Jordan Bupp out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, started up front, and he has led all the way so far in that orange Ford Mustang.
Car still looks really, really good. I'm not seeing any wiggle under braking, nor do I see it wiggle when he gets on the throttle coming off these corners. So certainly he has his car under him right now. Really strong on this high bank, and that's the right car to have for here.
Absolutely. Pulling away now from John Khachaturian. We saw Khachaturian alone as he exited the road course on the last lap before we took our break. We thought perhaps something had happened to Jordan Bupp. What's happened is he's lit a fire in that Mustang and has started to pull away from the balance of the field. Mark Bowden running third of the 47, one of the Fall Line entries. He has advanced greatly, but he is 13 seconds off the pace as we work lap number 10.
For John Khachaturian, it's the worst things to happen, too, because now he's not getting the draft effect of the Mustang, so he really is suffering down the long straightaway here.
Jordan Bupp unofficially setting a new GT2 track record here at Daytona. The old record set back in August in a regional event. And Jordan a good second or so quicker than that track record lap. So Jordan Bupp running in the 153s here under green flag conditions. There's Cashadurian. The gap last time, 2.6 seconds. It looks as though Jordan Bupp is lengthening that lead. Cashadurian able to get up alongside the Mustang a couple of times in the infield road course. Has not been able to close the deal, make the pass. And Jordan Bupp just saying see you later.
Yeah, Jordan now is starting to slide around. The Mustang now, the tires start to look like they're giving up a little bit at the back. I think he probably has some 24-hour Daytona experience under his belt as well. So no rookie per se around here.
Yeah. Well, experience is everything in a place like this, and I can't imagine what it's like to tackle this road course as a first-timer. I mean, everybody has to have their first experience in a place like this, but I can't imagine how intimidating it must be.
Well, you know, the first times around the banking, you're just mesmerized. You're just having so much fun, you can't hardly stand it. You know, and it takes you a while to get down to the brass tacks of things, which is the infield here. It is very difficult, quite honestly. Oh, and the Porsche just took a big hop over the curbing there.
We watch Cashadurian in that Porsche 911. That's a Carrera out of Denver, Colorado. Fall Line Motorsports, they've been doing this for a very long time, preparing at a very high level. Somebody in trouble down on the apron there. Looks like it might have been one of the Monte Carlo bodied cars. If you're at the 57 who's had his problems, been on pit road earlier, it looks like he's got some more issues to deal with there, and will head to pit road for the second time. The 57 Butch Kammer out of Woodstock, Georgia. And that's the BK Racing Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
Actually, look on pit lane. We've got a lot of attrition going on all of a sudden late in the race.
We talked earlier about how this place, Daytona, because of the long straightaways, the high banks, and the load you put on these cars, every part of the drivetrain of one of these race cars tested probably to the extreme in a place like Daytona.
When we first started coming here, and it's been years ago now, I mean, one of the problems that the car would have was up on the banking. It's at such an angle that the oil would run away from the oil pickup in the oil pans,
sure,
and that you'd blow up engines. And it's like a dyno pull anyway, because you're wide open for such a long period of time. You know, it was tough on driveline, like you say.
Watching the battle for third, Mark Bowden in the 47. That's a Porsche 997 GT3 Cup car. Also a Fall Line prepared entry. And then Robert Kennedy in one of the GT2 Mustangs, a car that's very similar to the race leader's car, Jordan Bupp's machine. Robert out of Ormond Beach, Florida, just up the road here, really within a couple of miles of Daytona International Speedway. So he's got plenty of home field advantage, as does Jordan Bupp, you would think here. Look at that ripple inside that left-hand corner coming up onto the bank.
The asphalt has come up there, and they paved it a couple times, and it's starting to look like the whoops for a motocross track.
Well, Supercross is part of the fun here at Daytona every year. Maybe get a little early start on that. You know, but I'm starting to talk about what it's like to race here at Daytona International Speedway, and talked about how this will test the car as much as anything else because of the long, flat stretches, the places you can run wide open here at Daytona International Speedway. How intimidating it must be to a first-time driver coming here to see what this place is really all about. I talked to a lot of drivers yesterday in various categories who said, you know, I just wanted to experience this. I just wanted to see what it was like to try my car here.
It's a dream come true for road race guys to come and run at Daytona. You only get the opportunity to do it occasionally at best. You know, the 24 hours of Daytona when we run there. Most guys never have an opportunity to ever be up on a high bank oval like this. In Daytona, it's the king. You know, it's the number one.
Battling for third here. This is Bowden in the 47 car. He's got that final podium spot right at the moment. Kennedy right behind him in the Mustang, the 118, the Petty Blue car. And if you're looking at lap counts here, 12 laps are complete out of 14, working lap 13 right now. And this fight for third has been a good one, although it's taken place about 12 seconds or so behind where the two leaders are running.
I really like that format of car, the TA2 type body work. Everything, the cars look really good. You can tell what they're supposed to be. You know, for a while there, it was hard to tell what kind of car was being run out there. But you know, Porsche, that's a factory race car, and behind that, a TA2 body styled Mustang.
You've got situations here where these are very much production silhouette race cars. They're, the Mustangs are two chassis cars. The Porsches, tub cars, as Hayward alluded to at the beginning of the broadcast. But so you've got different philosophies here about how to be fast in the GT2 regs, and you've got frankly a couple of different price points. I mean, a GT3 Cup car is a high-dollar race car.
Yes, it is.
Whereas one of these TA2 Mustangs, basically a short-track stock car that's got some changes made to it for road course racing. They still have some left-side biasing.
You're talking $250,000 versus $60,000 to $80,000 between the price of buying one of those two types of different cars.
And that's one of the things that has made TA2 such a successful Trans Am category the last couple of years. Plenty of performance at a price that a lot of people can afford.
Yeah, they're talking about maybe getting that format down to about $50,000 for one of those cars. They'll get a lot of people involved at that kind of a price.
Yeah.
But when it's $250,000, not so many guys can play that game.
Yeah, and in TA2, of course, we're honored to broadcast Trans Am for you on CBS Sports Network. Throughout the season, the entries have gone close to 40 in a couple of places. There's a TA2 car. That's Tim Ryan's Ryan Industries car out of Minnesota. Yeah, he's got some nose damage to that car.
He's got a big bag or some kind of thing stuck in the grill. It's going to be overheating here in the next 2 laps he's got to go before he gets a checker flag. There goes a bit of rubber.
Jordan Bupp with a little bit of smoke showing, it looked like, the race leader.
Too. Yeah, I didn't want
right behind Gray's 60 car. Yeah, Gray definitely getting into something there. He's got, it looks like it's paper up on the spoiler. Kashadurian. Bupp has indeed had a problem. John Kashadurian pouncing. Bupp had a couple of second lead, more than a couple of seconds, and he is wounded. Kashadurian blowing by him.
I think he's got engine problems. I saw the smoke too, and you saw it the second time. I think, unfortunately for Jordan, I think he's got a mechanical issue. Wow. There it is again, a little bit wisp. He's staying down on the apron. Yeah, his day's done.
Yep, looks like the engine has developed serious issues in the Jordan Bupp machine, the 81 car. And his day apparently is going to be done short of the checkered flag. Race leaders should see the white flag this time around. John Kashadurian and the Porsche G911 car of the Carrera will take over the lead here as Bupp drops below the yellow line. Below that double yellow, you are out of bounds here, and Jordan Bupp needs to get off the racetrack, and has done so.
Quit. He's got it done now. He's pulling it over. Did a good job of getting off the racetrack, keeping the oil down on the apron and off of the racing surface, but unfortunately it's not going to see the checkered flag today.
Not at all. So Kashadurian now with a big lead of about 13 seconds over Robert Kennedy. This would move Mark Bowden and the other fall line GT3 Cup Porsche up into 3rd position here as Bupp drops out on the backside. Kashadurian moving by Tim Ryan's car, Tim Gray's car I should say, and the white flag waving over John Kashadurian in the 85. So Kashadurian, and that was the checkered flag. So Kashadurian sees the checkered flag and he waves out the window. He realizes he capitalized on Jordan Bupp's problems in the final lap, and John Kashadurian is our first winner in these 2015 SCCA National Championship runoffs.
Jordan
Bupp there in the 60 car will finish a lap to the race leader. Robert Kennedy takes 2nd spot. Mark Bowden is 3rd. Those will be your podium finishers in race number 1 of the 2015 SCCA National Championship runoffs. Dorsey, as they say, it ain't over till it's over.
Half a lap short. Can you believe that? You run the whole year to be able to come down here, run for a national championship, and you come up half a lap shy. The engine just couldn't make it.
So tough break for Jordan Bupp in that Ford Mustang. We thought we saw a little bit of white smoke out of the headers. Then he slowed dramatically in the infield section, and Kashadurian was able to reel him back in and pounce. And Jordan Bupp's bid to win a national championship comes to an end on the super stretch on the backside of Daytona.
Yeah, that's a shame. He did everything right, and unfortunately was half a lap away. Engine let go.
So Kashadurian is your winner. Kennedy is 2nd. Mark Bowden is 3rd. Tim Kesman finishes 4th in another Porsche 911. Pete Peterson in a Porsche 997 finishes in 5th position. Michael Flynn 6th in a GT3. John Yaros is 7th in a Chevrolet Corvette C6. That's the 33 car. And Jordan Bupp continues to fall through the running order. Jerry Onks will be shown at 8th as he comes across the line in the 96 car out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. So your top 3, your podium finishers: Kashadurian in the 85, Kennedy in the Ford Mustang, the 118, the petty blue car there, and Mark Bowden in car number 47, one of the fall line prepared Porsches. That is a 997. He will get credit for 3rd position. Kashadurian, the driver that Sports Car Magazine selected as the likely winner here in the Who Will Win issue that came out a few weeks ago, and that prediction holding true.
Might have brought him good luck. It was definitely the right pick.
No question about that. So Very interesting action here as we kick off our coverage of the 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
There'll be a lot of cleanup to do after these cars take their trip down pit lane here. They'll try to get that bus stop cleaned up, and we got oil out there on the racetrack. We know that. So the track workers here at Daytona never nonstop. These guys really do the good job.
Exactly. Cashadurian selected as the winner by Sports Car, and that pick comes true. Bowden picked to run second, ends up in third position. Pete Peterson was picked to finish third. He ends up in fifth. Robert Kennedy, the surprise, he comes home in second spot in the 118, one of those TA2 spec GT2 Ford Mustangs, the baby blue car that you see right there, the penny blue car with the pink center stripe. And here comes Cashadurian. He will come down and stop, and Hayward Wagner will come over and chat with our top couple of finishers as Cashadurian brings the Cashadurian Group 85 car to a stop down on pit road. Hayward, John Cashadurian able to cash in when Jordan Bupp had problems.
John Cashadurian getting the helmet off, shaky hands, a lot of excitement and happiness in this car. It's going to take just a minute to get this helmet off. John's working on the steering wheel. The crew's already in the car, lots of smiles. You can tell a driver is excited about a national championship when there's not enough dexterity left in the fingers to get the helmet taken off, and that's exactly what John is dealing with right now. Here is the helmet. A great drive from you, sir. Congratulations. Talk about this fall line team getting this car ready for you.
We battled all week. I mean, they've been prepping in the shop, late here at night. Can't thank them enough. Nathan McBride, we were blowing tires in the test sessions. We got a setup that worked. It was consistent. They busted their tails, and can't say enough for them.
It looked to our eye that you had a real advantage on the infield, that you were able to get close to the Mustang lap after lap after lap and then would lose it on the banking. How frustrating was that during the race?
It was frustrating. I was catching him on the infield. We knew he had the horsepower advantage, but we thought if we could just stay in his mirrors and make him, keep thinking, keep looking, he might make a mistake. I don't know if he ran out of fuel or had a mechanical, but the good old Porsche came through in the reliability department. So,
well, huge congratulations to you, to everyone at Fall Line Motorsports. You get to do one more lap around Daytona International Speedway. We're going to step back to the second place finisher. Looking for our second place finisher. Sitting with our second place finisher, Mark Kennedy. A great drive for you. It looked like you were in a great battle there for third for a while. All of a sudden, that battle became for second.
Yeah, the guys came over the radio and they said that the leader, Jordan, was smoking. And they're like, you got 3 laps to go, just dig. So I did. I just pretty much gave it everything I had. From the beginning, we had really bad brake fade. And I pretty much had no pedal at the end. I was just using all gearbox to slow it down. And luckily, I knew he was going to hesitate going to the bus stop. And I just went in there as fast as I could and just came out and I got around him.
Well, congratulations to you. We're going to get the guys in the booth to take a look at that and decide if that's our move of the race, but definitely one of the most exciting points of this race, and done with no brake pedal, correct?
No brake pedal, no brakes at all.
Unbelievable. So finishing the race in second spot, Mark Kennedy, no brakes on the car. Congratulations to you. We've got one more, Mark Bowden. Congratulations on a third place finish here. Another great finish for a fall line car. Talk about your race.
Well, I had a bad start. Was having a hard time getting the car into fourth gear, probably just a little bit too cool on the transmission. So I missed that fourth gear shift twice, which put me back from third to fifth. And just bided my time figuring out what I needed to do to get my positions back. Got back up to second after the leader broke, and I kind of timed out some lap traffic on the last lap going through the bus stop, so I didn't catch him in the middle of it, and I might have overslowed it just enough to let him through and let him take first place. So he's got a lot more power on the straightaway, so we have to have our good launch out of there that the Porsches get. But he drove a great race. So happy for Jack Cashadurian on his first national championship. He earned it. He drove great, and thanks to all the Fall Line guys for an awesome car, and SCCA and Daytona for an awesome event.
Well, congratulations to you on a podium finish, a medal here at the Runoffs. Guys, back to you in the booth.
All right, Mark Bowden, you can tell how happy he was certainly to have that opportunity. Young Robert Kennedy did a nice job there without breaks at this place, Doris. I can't imagine as we watch Kashadurian completing his victory lap here at the Speedway.
He might have got into the bus stop even faster than he wanted to with no brake pedal.
Yeah, I think that would certainly better for a young driver probably who's a little less likely to think about what might happen if that pedal goes to the floor. But hats off to Robert Kennedy for being able to downshift and keep that car on the racetrack and cash in with the second place finish. We'll take a look at your final order of finish here in GT2, kicking off the 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Kashadurian, your winner. Kennedy in second. Mark Bowden in third. Tim Kesman and Pete Peterson rounding out your top five. Michael Flynn comes home in sixth in the 195. John Yaros in seventh in the 33 car. He's out of Swayersville, Pennsylvania. And Jerry Onks finishes in eighth position out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in his 96 car. Onks, another Chevrolet Corvette entrant here in GT2. So a great opening event to kick things off. Dorsey, I can't wait to see some of the other events we're going to enjoy here this weekend. You and I will get to come back in a couple of minutes for Formula Mazda, and then later, just before our lunch break, GT1 and H Production on our agenda here today.
So one of the great things about the runoffs is from about 8 o'clock in the morning until the sun goes down, it's nothing but racing all day long.
Yeah, you can get your fill, certainly, when you come to the SCCA National Championship runoffs. You see great cars and drivers and teams in action, some 600-plus entries here this weekend.
Actually, for the first time ever, we'll race under the night lights here in Daytona tonight for the Mazda, Spec Mazda Miata. That's going to be awesome.
It will be, no question about it. Great battle, tough break for Jordan Bupp. He led a lot of the race from the pole in that orange Mustang. Held off Kashadurian for a long time. Kashadurian getting squirrely in that particular case down into turn one. Bupp able to pull away on the banking, but Jordan Bupp's engine not up to the task of completing all 50 miles here at Daytona International Speedway.
Half a lap short, and he has to pull it off the racetrack, and that's just a bitter pill to swallow, I'll tell you.
Jordan, part of a racing family. His dad, of course, a longtime Trans Am competitor. All of that helping John Kashadurian get to the checkered flag and take honors today, gold medal honors in GT2. For Dorsey Schrader, Haywood Wagner, I'm Rick Benjamin. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of GT2 at these 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
The 2015 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, presented by Garmin Verb, is being brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, driving matters.
16 wide eyes. Driver's license, took 2 tries, bought a Roadster secondhand. Playing parties with the band, loaded up, off to state. Hijinks, tailgates, starter, midsize. Family cruising. Now in the garage, something new reminds you of when you were you.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.